hohes Licht zu mir spricht, mich beseelend zu der Reise. Folge treu dem alten Gleise, wähle keine Heimat nicht. Ew'ge Plage bringen sonst die schweren Tage.
In 1955, Rick was convicted of armed robbery in L.A., and he was sentenced to life in prison at San Quentin. When he was there, a theater company came in and they performed Beckett's play Waiting for Godot. Cluchey wasn't allowed to see the performance, but the theme of that show, waiting, waiting, and more waiting, struck a chord with a guy who was doing just that in a small prison cell. A while later, Rick Cluchey decided to start his own theater group, the San Quentin Drama Workshop. They performed several of Beckett's plays at the prison.
Well, I've said in the past that before San Quentin, I had never been in a theater in my life, not even to rob one. Professor Blau brought the performance of Beckett's play to the prison, but the group of inmates who saw the work, the San Francisco Actors Workshop production, were really excited. The fellows who were turned on created the inmate council. So they went to the warden and they said, look, we want to try an activity like this. When he got the petition from the warden, the green light from the warden, the first play that was given was Reginald Rose's 12 Angry Men, which is now making a big comeback around the country. And one of the fellows who came over and volunteered on Professor Blau's staff was a young actor from Canada by the name of Alan Mandel.
Alas, alas, on, in short and fine, on, a boat of stones, who can doubt it? I resume, but not so fast, I resume. The skull fading, 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 and concurrently, simultaneously, what is more for reasons unknown, in spite of the tennis, on, the field, the flames, the tears, the stones, so blue, so calm, alas, alas, on, the skull, the skull, the skull, the skull in Connemara, in spite of the tennis, the labors abandoned, left unfinished, grave is still a boat of stones. In a word, I resume, alas, alas, abandoned, unfinished, the skull in Connemara, in spite of the tennis, alas, the skull, the stones, canard, tennis, the stones, so calm, canard, unfinished. Avenged.
Many people from the Actors Workshop would come in and were really working with us to improve the quality of what we were trying to do, because in time we were able to return the San Francisco Actors Workshop. How gracious they had been. We invited them to come and see our production of Waiting for Godot. So we proceeded to do Waiting for Godot, the first act, and then we did, for some reason, repeated the first act again. Coming out of the prison after almost 35 plays as an actor, director, and as a playwright. I wrote 2 plays. One I'm known for is called The Cage.
Objection! Objection! Shut up, you cop! Please! The people have a right to be heard, too. Tell the people to go to hell. Justice! Justice! The people demand justice.
Keep the facts clear.
The facts are clear. That's a desperately sick lie. You're after the boy and I intend to prove it.
Our case is duly placed on the court's calendar. Love or war have nothing to do with justice.
Well said, Counselor. Well done.
But, Monsieur, the people. What about the people?
Well, what's wrong with them now?
Sir, they've asked for justice. They insist the defendant here is guilty. And I believe them, sir. I'll always believe the good people. They never lie or steal. They never murder as this vicious, wicked boy has done? Sir, the people demand that this boy pay for his terrible crime.
Is that your considered opinion, your final word?
Definitely. Irrevocably, my dying oath has been given. I stand by the people's side.
Monsieur Defendant, do you have anything to add before I pass sentence?
Monsieur Justice, the defense rests, secure in the knowledge that justice will triumph over evil.
Whilst an inmate, seeing the pain, the suffering, the hardship that man brings upon himself, there is a connection between life and the compassion that you can feel. You may be the most bitter person on the earth, and there were certainly a number of those in that institution. People who life didn't mean anything to them. Over an insult, over an alleged insult, they would take someone's life. So you felt that, in a sense, you made it through the day. You still had to face the night. And as the years passed by, I began to think, well, I'm never getting out of here. But then when the governor pardoned me, I had to face 10 years on parole.